What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of our 2022 NBA Draft Player Breakdown Series. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about one of the top point guards or one of the top guards in this year's draft, and that is TyTy Washington. He's a 6'3", 195-pound point guard from the University of Kentucky. He was a freshman this year. He came from Arizona Compass Prep. In his freshman year, he averaged 12.5 points per game. He also averaged 3.5 rebounds and 3.9 assists. He averaged 1.3 steals per game. He did this while shooting 45% from the field on 11 attempts per game, shot 49.6% from 2, and then 35% from 3 on 3.3 attempts per game. And as well as with all that, he shot 75% from the free throw line. One of the things I really want to touch on or make note of, I guess, at the beginning here is that he is older for a freshman. Or for going to be a rookie or a player drafted this year with only 1 year of college. He is 20 and a half years old right now. He will turn 21 in November, so he is older for a freshman and a player coming in as a rookie. So now let's go ahead and look at some of his strengths. So like I mentioned at the beginning, TyTy is one of the top guards, or top point guards, especially in this year's draft. He's currently kind of projected to go around that 15 to 20 range, somewhere in there, just outside of the lottery in this year's draft. And one of the strengths of his is that he does have pretty good size for his point guard position. I mean, he's 6'3", but he does have 6'8" wingspan, so he's not overly big, but he's also not he's not small. He's got long arms, which will allow him to be able to guard other guards and a little bit of bigger guards. He's not overly strong, but he knows how to use his body pretty well in terms of defending people, getting into lane, different things like that. He's got good feel for the game, and really just kind of knows he knows how to just make winning plays, I guess, is one of the biggest things for him. He isn't overly flashy, he isn't overly quick, but he just knows how to make winning plays, usually makes the right plays. He did average 3.9 assists per game to only 1.6 turnovers per game. So he's good at moving the ball, passing the ball, getting his teammates involved, and like I said, usually makes the right plays. Looking at his offensive ability, he is someone that can go and get you a bucket if you need. He can shoot the ball from the three. He's got a really good 1-2 dribble pull-up in the mid-range into three. He's got really good body control, getting to the lane, finish with a floater, finishing at the rim. He's really knows, how to use, his body and at his size, how to score the ball. Since he's not the most athletic, he's not the quickest player, but he just kind of knows. Like I said, he's just got a really good feel for the game, and knows when to attack, knows when to shoot, knows when to get his players or his teammates involved. Like I said, just really good feel for the game, and I think that he will, turn into a really good point guard at the NBA level. I think that's one of the position that he will have to play at the NBA level. His game is more so of an off-ball player. In some sense, he likes to score off-ball more than being the point guard. However, he did record a 17-assist game against Georgia when he ran the point guard position the full time, or that full game. So he does know how to pass the ball, get assists, get teammates involved, and I think that he will turn into be a really solid point guard at the NBA level. So now looking at some of TyTy's weaknesses, I kind of mentioned on it above when I was talking about his strengths, but he's not the most flashy, he's not the most athletic, he's not the biggest point guard we've ever seen. However, like I said, he's very efficient and makes winning plays, so that kind of helps weigh out those negatives of the fact that he's not super big, not super quick. But along with that, he does, tend to kind of underperform sometimes at big games, against Duke, Auburn, and Kansas this year. He didn't have great games against the high-level competition. However, it should be noted that 2 of those games he was dealing with an ankle injury, so he wasn't 100% in 2 of those games. But he did kind of underperform in big games on the big stage, and sometimes he just doesn't have a huge impact on the game. His raw stats would show that he had a better game than he actually did, but really he sometimes just doesn't impact the game as much as you'd think his stats would show that he did. Another thing with that is, like I said, he's not the biggest player by any means. At only 6'3", he's got more of, like I said, an off-ball guard kind of game where he's better suited for playing off the ball. However, he's not big enough to really be a effective shooting guard at the NBA level. So I think he's going to have to really try to be a point guard full-time. Be kind of that lead guard that runs the show, gets everyone involved, gets buckets when he needs to, but just really knows how to get the team in its offense, get the team in its motion, and make the right plays. So he doesn't really have a whole lot of negatives in terms of his game. The biggest negatives or weaknesses of his game is that he's not overly big, he's not overly athletic, he's not overly quick. But like I said, he just makes winning plays. He's pretty crafty and shifty, or not shifty, but pretty crafty, and knows how to use his body and finish, around the rim, in a crafty style. So that kind of outweighs some of those weaknesses. So in conclusion, I think that TyTy, has every right, or has earned to being one of the top guards in this year's draft. Like I said, it'll be around that 15 to 20 range in this year's draft. It's kind of projected right now, and I think that is a good range for him. I think that he'll get with a solid team, not some trash team where he's expected to be the guy. And I think that he can develop into a really solid point guard at the NBA level. One that kind of, like I said, just has a really good feel for the game, knows when to get his teammates involved, knows when to get his own buckets, attack off off screens, when to get to his floater, hit the big for lob. I just feel like he has a really good feel for the game, has a really high IQ, and be one of those point guards that just kind of always seems to make the right play. And I also think that one of the kind of unnoted parts of his games is that he could be a really solid defender, guarding other point guards. He's 6'3" with a 6'8" wingspan. Those long arms will allow him to get steals, kind of pester the other team's guards. He's not overly quick, but he's got solid lateral quickness, and the fact that he can stay with pretty much any other guard in the NBA. And I think that, like I said, he'll be just a really solid point guard that makes winning plays, guards the other team's point guard, and just kind of pesters them all game. I think that he'll be just really solid at the NBA. So I want to hear from all you guys in the comment section down below. Let me hear your thoughts on TyTy. Do you think he should be drafted higher, lower? Leave all that in the comment section down below. As always, make sure you hit the like button on this video, hit the subscribe button, join the channel, join the conversation, share this with your friends, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.